AK Corner. Welcome back to another movie review, AK After Us All. And today I'm going to be talking about the 2021 superhero comedy known as Thunder Force. Now, Thunder Force, this was written and directed by Ben Falcone, and this is the fifth collaboration along with his wife, Melissa McCarthy. And basically the story of Thunder Force basically tells the story about where this world is being terrorized by supervillains, and basically this scientist named Emily, played by Octavia Spencer, she is trying to find a way on how to make ordinary people get superpowers. And what happens is she accidentally imbues her estranged friend named Lydia, played by Melissa McCarthy. And basically for Lydia, she basically gets extraordinary abilities, and she of course ends up getting superpowers. And basically for her, along with Emily, they basically team up together, known as Thunder Force, which are a pair of superheroes. And basically they have to save Chicago from this villain known as the King, played by Bobby Cannavale. And so it's basically up to Lydia and Emily as the team of Thunder Force to save the world. So that's pretty much the story of Thunder Force. So for going into Thunder Force, I didn't even know much about this film going into it, nor did I realize this was actually a superhero comedy. And well, superheroes, I am a fan of like the main genre of superheroes, you know, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the DC Extended Universe, which they have proven themselves a lot since 2017, but they have regained their fame of sorts, because back then we had some like kind of like mixed to pretty disappointing ones, but they have proven themselves a lot since then. And, you know, I'm a fan of the genre itself, the genre of superheroes, because, you know, I grew up with superhero movies when I was a kid, you know, with the old Marvel movies back in the day, like with the Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy, or the X-Men trilogy, the original ones, the first two from Bryan Singer, and then The Last Stand from Brett Ratner. And we've had, like, the Tim Story's Fantastic Four, and Daredevil, Elektra, and those kind of stuff, as well as some old DC, you know, like Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy with Batman. We've had like Superman Returns and all that kind of stuff. But I am still a big fan of the superhero genre since the Marvel Cinematic Universe days, as well as the DC Extended Universe days. And when I first saw the trailer for this film, I didn't even know what to expect from it. I didn't even know if this was just going to be a meh kind of film, or was it just going to be a miss, because some jokes nearly gave away the whole film a bit, when there was some easy jokes I usually see in the trailers, but they weren't like kind of like ones like just make you want to pull your hair out and just get angry. I wasn't like that when I first saw the trailer for this film. I didn't know what to expect from it. I didn't even know what to appreciate, thinking, is this going to be a hit, or is this just going to be an absolute miss? But I am a fan of the cast in this film. Melissa McCarthy, she's very funny. I liked her in Bridesmaids. She's hilarious in Bridesmaids. And she does prove herself a lot outside of like her comedic roles she usually does, like she did with 2018's Can You Ever Forgive Me, which I thought was a fantastic film, and I can't wait to review that, as well as any films that I will review, as the reviews that she's been in, like say like Bridesmaids or stuff like that. And you got Octavia Spencer, which she's a really good actress. Back then I didn't even know who she was, but she started to like kind of build her name for herself and be more recognizable to Hollywood since then, like in the 2010s decade, since she's become like an Oscar-winning actress. And she is a good actress. I've seen her in a few missed, but there are some good hits I've seen her in. And you got Bobby Cannavale, who of course plays the villain in this movie, which I've seen him in a few films before, but not a whole lot, but he is a talented actor. And Jason Bateman from Zootopia and Juno, he's a good he's a pretty talented actor as well, and he is pretty funny. So I watched this today on Netflix this morning, and this movie, it was kind of watchable, but it's overall not that great. It's not a really terrible movie. It's just such a serviceable film, because most of the jokes were fine. They weren't like frustratingly like kind of like gonna make you angry, or want to pull your hair out or anything like that, but the jokes, they were kind of serviceable. Some were, you know, obvious from what you usually see before, which most of them are like Melissa McCarthy jokes in this, because the ones I usually keep seeing are kind of like, I've seen it about like 1,000 times, but she is still funny though, to see her do some comedic stuff, and she is still still pretty funny. And for her acting in this movie as Lydia, who who's like a regular woman who, of course, gets abilities to become a superhero. She was pretty funny for a few scenes, but she was overall fine for the most part. It's just some jokes where it's just kind of easygoing and kind of like what you kind of usually expect if you've seen these kind of movies before. Octavia Spencer as well. She was also pretty good in the movie. She was fine. She did some fine moments. She has some funny moments as well. But again, it's just mostly the humor and jokes kind of felt a bit flat. And again, none of the jokes were just like really bad or just want to make you just again pull your hair out or anything. But and for their chemistry together when they work as a team as superheroes, they were pretty funny for a few scenes I liked. Although there was again what I mentioned before. And you got Bobby Cannavale, who plays the villain in this movie as the king, which I found a bit cliched of like why is he this villain, because he really wants to be like sort of like a president of sorts in this film, which it was obviously kind of easy to know like why is he like this, but his performance wasn't terrible. He was fine. And you got Jason Bateman in this film, who's known as the Crab, who has like crab hands of sorts. He has some funny moments, but again, what I've already said about the jokes and the humor. All the acting were fine, and everyone else, they also did all right for the most part. And again, it's just really some of its writing and jokes just feels cliched and just really cliched and just not really like really bad. But most of the jokes, there's some kind of slapstick in there, like someone's falls against the walls or anything like that. But there are just some like innuendos and all that. There are some kind of innuendos in this film, but not a whole lot. But that's just mostly kind of like the humor in this film instead of like actual like slapstick moments in this film. Which again, it's just mostly the innuendos during this film, which some do kind of work and some just kind of fell flat for the most part. But nonetheless, though. But as well as for its story, the story was always a bit forgettable, but it wasn't terrible. It was serviceable, I'd say. But it does sound like it could be an entertaining movie, but it doesn't fall flat or anything because of the issues it had, which again is just the only issues I mostly had was just some of its jokes and humor. But again, there were some that made me chuckle, but some just were just you already knew what was gonna come and go. But nonetheless, though, Thunder Force, it was watchable, but it wasn't really terrible. It's just kind of a serviceable movie. But it's not the worst film I've seen of this year so far, again. But if you're a fan of either Melissa McCarthy or Octavia Spencer or like Jason Bateman or Bobby Cannavale or if you're a fan of like superhero films that are non-Marvel or DC, this could be a one for you. And again, it's on Netflix. It came out on Netflix today, so if you guys want to check it out again, if you want to see it, just again, it's on Netflix, so you can see for yourself what you actually think of this movie. And I also like to know what you guys really think of it as well. So, yeah. So I'm going to give Thunder Force a D. So, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching for my review of Thunder Force. And let me know what you think of this movie. Did you have a pretty entertaining time with it, or did you just not really care for this one at all? Again, let me know what you think of this movie if you've already seen it on Netflix. Just to let you guys know where you can actually watch this film. So, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and stay tuned for my next review, which is going to be on robots. Because again, I'm doing like some videos about Blue Sky Studios animation, since they've already closed the doors 2 days ago, and I've already did that with one of my reviews yesterday, which was my review of Ice Age. So if you guys want to check it out, it's on my channel. So just to let you guys know if you didn't even know which one I've already reviewed, because again I'm reviewing them from like the years they were released. So I'm just doing, so like I said, I did Ice Age yesterday, so today I'm doing robots and stuff, and just so on for each day. So again, thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, this has been Falcone's Media Corner signing off.